Josh, what's the space for irrationality?
The great Ganifari has a quote. He said it's unlawful to be lawful in a lawless society like Nigeria. So let me try and tweak that word. Yeah, I think it's irrational to be rational in an irrational world.
I have a couple of friends, especially the celebrity content creator type. I know some of them that they have been alleged of sleeping with Senator and co. At the same time, in the inner circle, we know that she used to spend money on fine boys.
We as people, we do juggle between being rational and being irrational. We choose the time to be rational and when not to be rational.
Features that we consider as sexually pleasing, like boobs and ass and the like. If you think clearly about it, it's just a body of meat and you can't eat it.
The funny thing is that which one have you not seen and you still want to see?
Elonias, our new resolution is to keep rational dialogue as sharp, precise, direct, and straight to the point as much as possible. So this episode will be our first trying to attain those aforementioned goals. So today, we are talking about irrationality on rational dialogue. Strange, is it? Yeah. And I'm going to start out with the fact that it is obvious and prevailing that sometimes there are many things we cannot explain that just eludes our rational explanation. So how do we deal with it? Recently, I heard the news that someone came out that US was involved in the formation, the implementation and execution of the Islamic state called Boko Haram that was tormenting President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan administration. And I was like, what the fuck? Pardon me for my use of language. What's happening here? I can't find. They say when the story doesn't make sense, follow the number. I can't even find the number. I can't even trace it. Josh, what's the space for irrationality in a world where there are statements, facts, and recently you forwarded a video to our TikTok group where one guy was saying that he was giving $500,000 to ensure that a senator wins an election as far back 2013. And a priest, an Islamic clerist, offered him as additional $100,000 to the effect. And I was like, $600,000, bro. I don't understand. There are just many things that I don't understand. How is this happening? What do you have to say? Where's the role of irrationality issue, everything? Because I don't see that logically the math is mathing in many things. Do you see any value in irrationality? What's your experience? Have you found irrationality in any space? I just want us to be precise and talk about irrationality based on our experience, and insight. Because quite like it, I know a lot of people that still don't understand the formation of my life, how I am running 4 companies to get at the same time, all of that. I know everything always look irrational. Is there always a logical answer, or what do you have to say about irrationality?
The great Ganifari has a quote. He said it's unlawful to be lawful in a lawless society like Nigeria. So let me try and tweak that word. Yeah, I think it's irrational to be rational in an irrational world or an irrational country like Nigeria.
Okay.
So I think that would give a sequel to what I'm about to talk about, because, when you look at everything, you see that the math is not mathing. Okay, what's rewarded? In our culture, you see that, you talked about, the last time we were talking about, being an atheist, that, there's no practical utility to it, and then you see that, it might be rational, but when you look at the math, you see that it's not at your favor. If you really want to have a social life, you really want to have a public life, you want to win elections, you want to do several stuffs that require other people, is a social society. So, Doc saying you want to be overflogging rationality in that context, I think that's changed ground to be irrationality. And then, one of the issues that I have with rationality, maybe let me say my beef with so-called rationality is this. Because everything has become politicized, has become like party system. So if you look at Messi or Ronaldo, when you talk about the conversation, you won't see a Ronaldo fan that in any universe, that's why Messi winning World Cup. Messi is the greatest of all time. Or you will see a Messi fan that in any universe, that's why Ronaldo having all of the goals in this world and all of that. that we say Ronaldo is the greatest of all time. So there's party to almost everything. You see APC people, you see PDP people, you see Labour Party people. Everybody has their candidate is the best and all of that. And you, when you light your guard down, when you want to say, let me be rational. In this contest, Tinubu is wrong. In this contest, Obi is wrong. We amaze you that when their own candidate does something crazy, they will forgive it. They will do as though it didn't happen. Or they start defending their goats, of all time. Then you not be like...
That's why they will start questioning the source. So Gazette News is not a valid
It's not a valid... Okay, thank you very much for even bringing that. There was the case, every news that comes from Gazette during that time, talking about Tinubu's past, cases, drug cases and all that, you will hear that, this is Gazette News that said it is true. From the obedient camp. But when there was this Yes Daddy audio leak that came out between allegedly Peter Obi and a particular popular pastor. Then when that one came out, then People's Gazette was no longer a valid news platform. Or when the news broke out that there was allegedly Peter Obi was detained in UK, the People's Gazette was no longer a valid platform. And that was the source. All this while when it was in favor of a Labour Party and against APC. So you see that Ento go, like the word we used to say, Ento go at the end of the big day. So it's you that you're letting your own guard down.
Because of rationality.
Because of rationality, that will be at the losing end. So at the end of the day, you see that low-key, maybe rationality is not really the standard unit in this our recent world.
That's me. You have a different opinion. What do you think? What is the role of irrationality? If you're talking about it, is there any space for it, or we should always try to be rational? Because at some point, I don't understand. Some artists that don't. I understand. This guy did Closer and he had 350 million stream. If we do the math, $1 per 1,000 view, we probably give you like some $320,000, which is quite with someone. So when he comes out tomorrow and buy a $100,000 car, maybe I can say, maybe Closer make you that kind of money or whatever. You get. Let's say the label removed their own, everybody, But bottom line, you seems like you have that money. But you see an artist that just have 10 million views or have 1 million views, that one too will buy G-Wagon and cool. I don't understand. What's happening? Do you have a problem with just trying to be rational all the time, or you think, there's a space for irrationality? You see, we have a need for it.
Couple of years ago, I used to believe, let me switch to election parts. I used to believe election is not do or die.
Okay.
People want you, they elect you. They don't want you, they don't elect you. That was my belief.
Okay.
That election shouldn't be do or die. People shouldn't go too far about elections.
I remember, and that's why we are trying to. These guys are obedient, but now you are switch camp.
Ex-obedient. Repentant obedient.
Okay.
So fast forward to, I think that's 2017.
Okay.
It was a nice, cool evening. Josh was with me that day. And election was coming. Maybe in 4 days. The election, what was that year?
2018-19.
2018-19.
Yeah.
So we were just outside of my apartment. And before you know it, some hillocks, maybe 1 or 2 hillocks, just packed with bag of money. Like Ghana was filled with currencies. You know what they did? Started looking for people with mouth in the area to offer them money in exchange for their votes. Right? I used to hear about vote buying and people doing all those sort of stuff for election. But that was the day it became crystal clear to me. So are you expecting someone that spends up to that amount? You shouldn't put body in this election, or you shouldn't go extra miles to make sure he wins that election. Like after spending...
One governor from a state was recording on video saying that he spent certain billions.
Someone that lost election in Rivers State.
How many billion did he say?
He said 15 billion.
15 billion. He lost election. And yet he spent 15 billion to attempt twice.
Yeah, he has attempted twice.
Just attempting to win. He didn't win, despite spending 15 billion. So how much did the winner spend?
Imagine. So if I'm the one contesting against that guy at that point in time, my point would be that, okay, I want to do this to society, I want to do this, I want to do that with empty hand, right? Meanwhile,
No, we sweet English.
somebody a day before has already wet the ground with some currencies. Now, will the people vote for me the next day?
Because if you think about it, I know that many young people do think about election in the term of, I'm coming up with this amazing agenda, these nice things that I want to do, these nice executions that I want to do. If people will see it, they will understand that they don't need to buy their vote.
Okay.
You should know that I'm the best candidate. Logically, you should understand that I'm not there to steal your money. So essentially, you should listen to me.
New Nigeria
is it not
possible.
rational to you? A new Nigeria is possible. Is it not rational to you for you to, to vote someone like me that have the dreams of Nigeria at heart, the visions of Nigeria at heart? I have the caring and the agility and the gravitas to deliver on the mandate. I remember when Commander was here, he said, problems don't read manifestos. and I think that was so strikingly true. Problems will read manifesto. One of the problems you are going to face is Godfather problem. So, and I'm agreeing with you on that ground that obviously it doesn't seem to favor rationality, especially in politics, for instance.
It's a sin. It is a sin to be rational in an irrational society.
And that's interesting. So, John, what's your particular beef? What problem are you finding in trying to be rational in all things? This rationality. Let's talk about irrationality for a second.
So the point is, I think at times when you are trying to be rational, you start becoming someone that is doing analysis that leads to paralysis. Because you, as a rational person, if you really want to be rational, you think about things, and then you go deep and deep and deep. Later on, you lose the essence of your thoughts at a point, because everything will continue to have reasons, and you have to provide reasons for it. So I think it is baked in us in some part of our life to be, or in major part of our life to be irrational. Now, we make some certain choices, like the fact that, okay, you are going to get married at a point in time. Now, I won't lie to you, I do not have a perfect reason that I can say that this is why I want to marry.
Okay.
But yet, I still believe I'm going to marry. So if you think about the fact that having a kid does not solve anything, financially, it is not even a profit, because at least if you are the kind of person that does not plan to live on his children, that believe that you just want to train the kid, you just be like, what is the point of this investment?
Of raising the kids, investing your money, spending your time, turning your efforts, going to end of the year party.
And now spending the money you're supposed to spend on your business, on kids and all of that. Yet, me that I'm saying that, I still want to have kids.
The kids.
So I think it is baked in us.
What you are saying is that it is irrational to be woman.
Yes. I think
because if you think about it, even the people that always come from the biblical worldview, from people that talks about religious and all of that, oftentimes they talk about the fact that we have the choice of staying in heaven and picking earth. That all of us chose to come to earth. If we are to buy that story, it means that from the day one, from before we are even on earth, we have been irrational. Because if we see all this wahala diet, why did we pick to come? Why did we choose to come? It's completely irrational.
Exactly. So I think it is one thing that separates us from computer, actually.
It's our ability to be irrational.
Yes.
Wow, interesting. So that's
and I think I want to add this. The Stockholm syndrome is another thing that is like, why will you be with a person that has been holding you hostage, or someone? Why you find that person interesting? Someone that is maltreating you and all of that.
Do you know this guy made a content recently? I think Gentle, where I think he did it for Valentine, where he gave a gift to a girl. The girl did not give him a hug or something. That girl took the gift and give it to another guy. That guy, he was saying, I beg, shift. Took the gift, take it to another girl. That girl was saying, I beg, leave it there. That girl took the gift and take it until one girl returned the gift to Jesse. And I was like, oh, this is so true. The girl that used to collect money from senator will not give senator sex or something or whatever. The girl that we bill one boy or whatever, we take someone like me to a dinner or take another person to whatever, or buy car for one guy, or I have a couple of friends, especially these, celebrity content creator type. I know some of them that they have been alleged of sleeping with Senator and co. At the same time, in the inner circle, we know that she used to spend money on fine boys. Think about it like that, like, somebody that will go and collect money for sex, that will go and whatever, still spend money on guys. Like, sometimes I just don't understand. The world is so freaking irrational.
Yeah.
It's just weird that way. Like, really, really weird that way. You find it hard to explain many things. B2C, your particular experience.
Josh used to say to be irrational is human. So I love that. But what I've noticed is that irrationality is deeply baked into our life. What makes us think that we have to be rational every time is because of the beauty of rationality. It just attracts us and we're like,
aesthetically
should be rational. It's just like seeing order. Like seeing something in a particular shape and you feel like everything should be in order. And then you realize that, and then you forget that chaos is normally baked into this whole existence.
I think creativity comes out of chaos.
Exactly. But once you see that creativity, sometimes you feel like we should be creative with everything. I remember when I was obsessed with minimalism, which is using the least
possible, remove all the
I was
unessentials.
so obsessed, and then to the point, but I got to a point I realized that people were not even feeling it. But a perfect experience is I think when I was obsessed with minor scale in music. And then I started everything. I want to play music in minor scale. I want to listen to music that in minor scale. And then I was so obsessed to the point that if somebody's trying to sing, because I used to play keyboard in a church, I'll be like, if somebody's trying to sing in the major scale, I'll try to teach the person to go minor scale. But I realized that people were not feeling what I was playing. I was the only one that was enjoying. That's I was in too deep in my head. It is not human to follow one kind of pattern like that. And Nietzsche once said something that the irrationality of a thing is not an argument against its existence. Instead, it is a feature of it, like a characteristic of that thing. But the mistake we make is that when something is not rational, we try to believe that that means that thing is not part of it, should not be part of it. Because
if you think about it, right, most guys have not built sustainable career, they have not built multi-generational wealth, they have not built, but yeah, they have an unlimited ATM card that they have given to their girlfriend that she can make any transaction with it. And all they will be shouting, say, babe!
How would you do that?
Yeah, you want chopping my money. And that's what they will say. That's it.
Yeah. And which, to somebody that is trying to be rational,
do you know the worst part? Anytime I look about some features that we consider as sexually pleasing, like boobs and ass and the like, if you think clearly about it, it's just a body of meat.
That's it.
Yeah, and you can't eat it.
For fat. All fat.
And for crying out, you can't even eat it. And then what? And then what? Even if she's lactating you, you can't drink the milk. You will know.
And the funny thing is that which one have you not seen and you still want to see?
Yeah, that's the funniest part.
Which one have you not seen and yet you still want to see?
So to now be acting as if we are some rational being from the cloud 9, I don't understand.
We are pretending as though we are this rational.
And another problem I have is that the sources of our information are often not that rational. You get?
Yeah.
They also, if you wake up there and go and read Wikipedia, you probably are reading one agenda that are just properly aligned over, several people that the data have passed through. You understand? If they want you to believe that egg is the best thing for you to eat, later you find out that somebody will tell you that they did the lab and the research shows that no. Look at Ajinomoto, the case for Ajinomoto. They are just, even sources of our information are just baked with several irrationalities that have customized them to where they are. There's this case about whether Hamas, was sponsored by Israel.
Yeah.
You will have the opinion that
I'm of the opinion that it has not been debunked, and people that are members of Israel have come out to say, that have worked during that time, have come out to say that they regret it now, that it was a terrible decision. But that's the case. Which means that was the case. Which means they admitted to it, kind of. But of course, there are people that believe that does not make it true. there's no evidence to that effect and everything like that.
Mhm.
Even though Israel is not debunking it.
The fact that Hitler don't debunking doesn't mean it's true.
But to me, it seems like they have reason to debunk it, given that that's what they've been fighting.
But
for
we are
years.
arguing for irrationality now, you see. You are thinking rationally. Israel may think they don't want to put who will come out to defend her? Because probably they are accusing an administration that is not the current administration. If for instance, you say, this thing, if someone come out today and say, under Olusegun Obasanjo, Hamas was created, or Boko Haram was created, or whatever the case was created, do you expect Tinubu to come out and start speaking for Olusegun Obasanjo? For why?
What I would expect Tinubu to do
why will he carry that
I would
body?
expect Tinubu to come and say it was not created by them because this is a national issue.
What do you mean it's a national issue? You should come and carry the body of Olusegun Obasanjo.
The war is persistent. And
it doesn't matter. You think I for instance, I know that I will not do that. Let's start from there. If I'm the president of the country, I will not do that. I will not come out and be defending Olusegun Obasanjo for whatever the case may be, whether true or not. Because I don't want to be looking like a liar to the public.
Even though the current administration has, whether true or not.
No,
that now if it is, I think you will not. I think you would not say. You definitely not come out. That one is a definite one to say. Yeah, Nigeria created whatever
Boko Haram.
If Nigeria actually created Boko Haram, I'm sure you will definitely not come out.
So
if it was the other way around, with all the kind of video Netanyahu has made in recent days, after the October 7 incident, he definitely would have clarified that one. He clarified so many things.
JB assumption is the
lowest
level.
Your assumption is still an assumption at best.
Yeah, definitely.
When it doesn't speak to the truth, because I will not come out to be debunking
under any circumstance.
So
now we will tell you that under any circumstance, maybe
now
we will
with
tell you
all
that,
those kind of stringent measurements, now how do we now identify what is true? Because I will tell you now that even if we at the point where the goalpost is, even if Netanyahu comes out and says, we did it, people will still move goalposts, saying that how can we be so sure just because Netanyahu said that? Does that mean? That's what we are going to say. So at which point are we going to ever create a truth value? That's
what speaks to the point we have been trying to make, that even our sources of information are oftentimes not as tethered to the truth as we thought they are.
Exactly.
Definitely.
Yeah,
they might not correspond to the truth. But I'm just saying that is a problem of how we the fact that truth itself is elusive. I think that's the bigger problem.
Yes, exactly.
That truth itself is elusive. So now, which leads us to the point that we can't. So just because somebody is this so much information about that is outside, we can't group it with it's a conspiracy theory. It's not.
No, that's another. I will not easily say that's a conspiracy.
That's not. Because there's no point where you are going to agree that that's the truth. That's the funny thing. Because there's no point if we are using all those kind of yardstick measurements. Because if Netanyahu
there are points where we can agree too now. Like people can bring us numbers and transfers and
say that where did that number came from? They have been doctoring it since. People say that about CIA.
No, there are some points there are some points where you get to that the person will start even standing clownish.
It's not about sounding clownish.
No. When there's the other day someone said they sent us money on 24th of December.
Exactly.
I believe they didn't send the money, right? But I saw a particular batch of that money. And then we saw it and then it's credit alert. So who has the problem with credit alert? Now, then he said he sent a huge amount again. Then we went to check. So at that point of seeing that transaction, please tell me what else we can be saying that won't be looking like clowning. So if there are real documents to that effect, brought to
now, from who? That's the problem. I'm trying to tell you that it's not easy to get to the point where that kind of information will become clownish. Let me tell you why. So at which point will we say, okay, now it is true? Which kind of documents are we looking at? So that we will not say,
I get what you're saying, that it will have to emanate from the government at the end of the day. Is that what you're saying?
If we don't trust the government, we say that the government will not bring anything out.
At what point did we now finally get to agree that the 5 days war was actually initiated by Israel? That's
the funny thing. We agreed that one, Abi, based on people who were what do we call them? who were members, who were staffs,
Witnesses.
members of that government, who later came out to say that was the case. Now, the government did not come out to say it. No need for all those paperwork.
No, it's not just the government. You know that even even the US have established that.
Don't let us dissuade from the bottom line, which is irrationality. This is what we're exploring. Now, if you think about it, right, you are saying we agree in one camp when people came out to report a case. And now we don't agree on another camp when people come out to report
the same
another case. You know, there's this case I always talk about, marriage is scam. And there's just overwhelming number of divorces out there, you know, breakfast out there. The fact that, you know, you buy a car, there's this case when I was in police custody in 2022, there's this girl that the girl brought the guy to the police custody, I think. And the guy actually did BBL for this girl, did buy a Range Rover or something like that. And then all of a sudden, the girl was in police station with the guy and they were fighting over what?
They were at the club. Then the guy found out she came with another guy.
Oh,
to the
good,
club.
brilliant.
So that was where the problem is. Then the guy went to break the windscreen of our Range Rover.
The one he bought for her.
The one he bought for her. So now, the lady now brought him to the police station so that he will repair the windscreen, which will cost, I don't know, maybe it's 10 million or so.
The windscreen of the Range Rover that he bought for the girl.
Yeah, she's arguing that he got it for her as a payment for 1 year of actual opwe with the guy.
That is strange though. Do you know that I saw a YouTube channel where they were doing tricks tank or something like that, where those guys are vouching to be taking, some guys already have 2 kids, 3 kids, that they will be sleeping with them for 1 year, they will be giving them $20,000 a month.
Yeah,
I thought it was a joke. Oh. And now think about it, even in Nigeria, somebody is buying somebody Range Rover and doing BBL, 5 million BBL or something like that for that girl, just to be sleeping with her.
For 1 year.
For 1 year. And then at the same police custody, somebody bring a case of her husband that she gave money twice. Gave 20 million the first time and 10 million the other time, something like that. And then that man spend it and blah, blah. You know, things are just...
Logical people.
Logical sapiens. I think we overrate ourselves. We overrate ourselves.
Intelligent life.
How they call that? Higher intelligent.
Because I think about it, a woman that is able to manifest 30 million naira from wherever she's making it, she seems like a smart person to me. And she's no, it's not. It's not all the 30 million in her account, because if that's all the 30 million in her account, she will not give away to her husband that will spend it, that will squander it.
Exactly.
Think about that.
Exactly.
So the question is that,
or give 10 million to the man that squandered 20 million already.
Are we not over categorizing rationality?
I really do think so. I really do think so.
Logic. What do you think? What's the space for rationality? Do you agree that
I have an opinion though?
What's your opinion?
Although I've not really thought straight. So it is that maybe we are too narrow about rationality.
Okay.
Maybe rationality changes when we factor in, or when we add all the factors, all the possible data points. Maybe there is a what do we call that? Absolute rationality. Like different kind of rationality we can see with our scope. So maybe that's why. Maybe the kind of woman that is, all those things that do not seem rational to us now, maybe to the person making the decision, they can analyze a fully rational plan of it. Because there are many things we also do that are rational to us. But to someone else, to just be like...
because of course, if you think if I have 300 million in my bank account and I see that my husband, I can invest 30 million in him so that he can as if be going somewhere every day instead of him sitting around and being useless, you know.
I think there's something you say that if only people know that, although I'm bringing it to a bigger audience now, they will know now. That if only people know that they only have 10,000 naira with you maximum, that they can just go Now for somebody else, that is irrational. Okay, let's be like 10K. 10K. No, I don't have 10K for anybody. So is that so? But from your lens, I'm sure that's perfectly rational, and it makes sense because at the end of the day, the person has done himself in, because that person cannot come and ask again in a way that maybe
you want to carry my 10K away.
The whole world we see that this person is an ashebi. Let's try to do that.
So Loki has a social security fund.
Exactly.
Anytime you need money,
Another
You get
person in his own rationality, maybe he broke rationality as the case. I don't know. We say no, I cannot allow that one.
you depend don't work for the money.
Not for the money.
you don't get
I
it.
don't
So
get
I
it.
think
that's true.
can I just say something? That there's this thing I heard from Charlie Munger that before that he said that okay, the algorithm of life, the algorithm of life
yeah.
is practical utility, like pragmatism.
Repeat what works.
Repeat what works and all of that, right? So now, okay, what's the practical utility in someone that this person has done is beating every now and then is he saying the man is an awesome guy? The other was saying of one particular person the other time that he said, the person later confessed that only two that's the reason why she's not going to leave the guy, despite the guy is this and that. So if you didn't get that part of gist, you won't really see sense in what the person is.
I thank God that I thank God for God. I thank God that I did not try to give her any advice when she was telling me all the bad things that the guy used to do. I was just listening to her until she said, so why are you still with him? The way this guy used to handle me. I was like, okay. Make her come put my mouth when you talk, say something happen. That's what you want to add.
Yeah, I think we as people, right? I've seen this trend. We do juggle between being rational and being irrational. Like we choose the time to be rational and when not to be rational.
Selective.
I used to tell. Okay, don't let me go that part.
Go there.
No,
Please go there.
No, I have to story. I don't go there. Let me tell you this one. There's this man. He's a very knowledgeable man.
Okay.
I know him to be knowledgeable, right? So he called me that day. He said, he has this building. He wants me to work on the building, right? So he asked for quotation, windows and doors. So I gave him quotation and he said, okay, there's one other guy that's also submitting quotation to that he will consider both prices and go with the cheapest. Like that's rational to normal people. So I submitted my quotation. The other guy too brought his own quotation too, and his own was, I think, 1/4 of mine. There was no way under heaven that this guy will complete this work. There is no. I don't want to know how this guy wants to do it. Even if the guy stole materials, there is no way. So I was telling this man, this thing won't work. Anyway, it will be as if I'm trying to spoil the guy's quotation and his work. So I left the scene. The man later gave the money to the guy. So I got a call from him later on, and he was like, "Hello, can you imagine? Can you imagine what just happened?" I was like, "What happened though?" I was even expecting him to say, "Okay, maybe 1 or 2 windows was missing from the site," but he said after since the day he gave the guy money, he haven't set his eyes on that guy again. Since that day, I was like, how that can be possible? Now, even if it's just 2 or 3 windows, the guy will deliver. He said he didn't see one single material, which means the guy collected the money, went home, packed his bag, and traveled to Akwa Ibom because the guy is from Akwa Ibom. Wow. And that was the story. So, in his own mind, it was rational to go with the cheaper option, right? But I knew it was irrational at that point in time because there is no way somebody will charge that amount and will deliver half of or even 1/4 of the job.
Interesting.
So I think people will juggle between rationality and irrationality.
I think that's the challenge with economics when we are doing economics in Unilag. They say ceteris. And there's
all things can never be equal. That's true. So, let us know what's your opinion. Do you think you are more rational or irrational? Drop your comments. Let us know. Because I have seen irrationality at scale. I've seen people living, breathing, thriving on irrationality. You will see girls spending someone's salary in a day. And they will still do it the following day. And they will still do it next week. And they will still do. And sometimes you wonder, show my broke Kirisha, have you ever been broke in your life? And they're not coming from rich homo or anything. I just don't know. They just live this life of ease. They will rent an apartment that will shock you. They will. So we want to be. Me that I'm a CEO self. I'm not making all these moves. I have a friend that I've traveled to maybe perhaps now 30 countries or so. I'll be wondering, where is this guy getting all the flight money? For crying out loud. Me, I have my passport. I just got my new passport. Is it last year, December or something? I've just stamped it once. I'm sure she have stamped it twice this year. So, is it rational to be rational or irrational to be rational? Is it irrational to be rational or rational to be irrational? Let me know your opinion in the comment section so that we can all be rational or irrational at the end of the day. If you love this content, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share to your friends. I will see you in the next episode of Rational Dialogue. Or maybe we should rename it to Irrational Dialogue. We'll see you in the next one. Thank you.